Greetings, it is I, Susie Q. How the heck are you? What's showing up in your field? Lighting up, turning on, and illuminating. Oh my gosh, this gorgeous life, this gorgeous body that you have, and your gorgeous thoughts, right? So, what is showing up in your field? What's showing up? Okay, so I can tell you what's showing up for me. And also, this is going to be part of the life review with no physical ascension. This is the ninth version of it, and it's all about tracing energies. Tracing, moving energies. Okay, even like you back here on this thing, I've got a fan in here because it's like freaking hot in Scottsdale, right? But then you can see the movement even behind me and also my hair. So with this movement and this energy, it's really, really powerful and dynamic. It's just super fun. Okay, so today is all about tracing energies. Okay, oh, there it goes. It kind of was like fluctuating the energy behind me, right? Is that we kind of look at things when we look at the physical experiences with others, and then we go into pure energy, and then we move into non-physical energy. Okay, so this is the premise of this conversation. So, life review with no physical ascension is really related to the ability to look at your life now, examine what's going on, take a look at some stuff that's happened before or maybe in your future, and then you start kind of clearing some things. So I do a lot of releasing and activating energies to make things a little bit more, I don't know, more gentle for a person when they come in. But today we're going to really focus in on this beautiful tracing energy, again, physical to pure energy to non-physical energy. And so let me tell you why I'm even doing this. Because, and I'll just say because I've just kind of learned from my own juicy self, right? Is that oftentimes I do trades with other practitioners, okay? And so for example, I've been doing this same kind of adjustment going down the spine or in the back area or the central nervous system. And so I have a little device that I go through and do some work there. And I was taught how to do it the best I could, right? And then we do it like in the morning and at night. And so it's been kind of a win for a person, I think, because when you start really working with the cervical down to the thoracic to the lumbar, is we have some opportunities to really kind of I don't even know how I would even express it, but it just seems like it kind of like opens up new windows or new kind of thought processes with the spine. That's how I kind of look at it. And so a lot of the stuff with the way I perceive some of those activations on my spine when it's been given to me is I just get impressions. So I'm more of a visual learner than an auditory person. Is that what I'm trying to say? I don't know. But yeah, I need to see things instead of listening. It's not the best for me, but for me to have a visual interpretation. So that's kind of what we're working with. So, anywho, going back to physical energy, pure energy, and non-physical energy. Okay, so what I learned is that I'm going to be going on a trip for a while to see my two little granddaughters, grandgirls. I'm super excited. So I'll be gone for a few days, but I'm real excited about it because even if the practitioner that I've been doing trains with, I'm just like thinking, well, so we've been really doing really good. You've been having better results with kind of balancing some of the things in your field, and then I'm going to be gone, for a while, right? And so what we learned about that, or what I kind of discerned about it, is that once we start creating a pattern, again, this is like a device that I'm using that's kind of going from the cervical, lumbar, and then I'm sorry, thoracic, and then the lumbar. So we start kind of having patterns. So I know the technique that the other practitioner uses with these devices. So I kind of feel, and I keep thinking, I wish I could do what he's doing, but I can't do it, right? But I just do my own kind of technique, and a lot of times I'm kind of resting in the area of the thoracic, that kind of that state of that the solar plexus, that big beautiful energy of power and all that beautiful breath of that. So that thoracic is kind of where I focus on him. But it's really neat when we start noticing and having acknowledgement that it's really neat to have a physical experience with the body, but it's also a really neat expression when we go into the non-physical. And so non-physical it could be somebody that might have been here before and they've already receded from the body. They've gone back to source, back to God, or back to the energy, right? And then we could also say that the non-physical could be like, for example, I won't be able to do that trade while I'm on a trip, but we can still have the experience. So we just start noticing what we call the tracing energies and finding that patterning, and then feeling, noticing how we were starting to feel that energy. Have you ever felt like, you felt like you had like, sometimes when I'm on these videos, I feel like there's feathers in my face, like the angel wings are here, and I'm like kind of like itchy and all that stuff. Is that sometimes we have sensations on our body, or some other things that might be showing up that are different. Like even some of the non-physical things that happen for me is, so I have this is my office space, and I've got this great lamp, and there's two bulbs in there, and every once in a while I'll get a flicker, 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 or I might have like, kind of a unison with the two bulbs doing that. So we know that there's a lot of other non-physical things that are showing up for us. So when we look at that physical energy, it's just so evident, right? We're right there with the person. We're really having an experience, and it's unique and amazing. And it could be creating a better result for the body, or with their thinking mind, or, whatever, right? Is that we have the opportunity to really acknowledge when we have that physical presence, right? But then sometimes the person isn't here anymore. Maybe they've receded from the body, or maybe they're not close by where they used to be. But then we start noticing that tracing energy, right? It's just pure energy. I call it tracing energy because when I look at it, when I'm doing some of that work for trades with people, that sometimes we kind of go down the spine, like I said, or we might even be I do a lot of crown work as well, but we start noticing that we start getting some patterns with our trades, and then we start, feeling into it and go, like, I think that we can do this from a remote distance, and that's a lot of the work that we do. So a lot of the energies that we have are non-physical, right? But let's just say that you've got a person back in 2020, when people were really needing assistance but not wanting to get out, right? Or they weren't sure what they would do. We could do long distance or remote healing energies with other people. So when we look at that non-physical, it has some relation to with those kind of remote visits. Back in 2020, now more people are coming in for these beautiful alignments and balancing the body. But it's really interesting when we really go deeper into it and acknowledge that tracing energy. From me, when I kind of coined it tracing. I'm just making up stuff, right? But when we look at it, we just notice that there's patterns with everything, even the little fractals, or all of these different sacred geometry pieces, or all of these other thoughts. So the way I see things, again, is I'm totally visual. So I can perceive the energy, I can start feeling the energy. But then I just started relating to the non-physical. The non-physical apparatus, like, again, like I said, with the bulbs here and different things. A lot of things keep moving and changing over here at the house. I have a lot of, I guess, little friends, little helper friends that kind of show me and guide me in different ways. So going back to life review with no physical ascension, again, I want to get back and emphasize that we have opportunities, for like working with something here now, and we're still kind of, just kind of still thinking about things that weren't right, or looking at the future and just knowing that I don't know if it's even going to be possible, is what we do with that life review with no physical ascension is we start kind of cleaning things up. We just start shoring it up and go, we're just going to start releasing that energy. So I think for right now, I think I might do a little bit of an activation, because when we're looking at the the beautiful breath of life of the tracing energies, could be physical, or you could call it pure energy, or non-physical energies that we're working with. So we're going to do a little bit of activation here. So I want to move into, for you, and even for my own juicy self, is move into the harmonization of energies that are in best support, whether it be physical or non-physical. Or you could just say harmonizing pure energy, bringing that perfect perfect pure energy in at the moment that you are really seeking to have a better result with your body or your experience with life or your thoughts, your emotions, all of that. So we get continue to balance that pure energy, bringing it into the presence of our divinity, to our field. Our bodies. I'm calling it my house. My body is a house, right? You could say it's a vehicle, a house, or you could just say I'm in the field. I'm totally in the field of pure energy. Okay, now we're going to be moving into a little bit of rejuvenation. So when we bring in that pure energy, we just kind of start feeling that breath of rejuvenation, kind of feeling a little bit better, a little bit lighter, a little bit more gentle, a little bit more present to the loving of self. So when we continue to do that rejuvenation, some people like talk about telomeres and they talk about, all the skin stuff, our biggest organ is our skin. And so when we start really kind of rejuvenating, we get to see the largest organ, our skin. We start noticing that things are getting a little bit better with our overall skin and impressions as we go through life. And so we start noticing that it gets easier and easier with rejuvenating. We're also going to start energizing. We're going to totally start energizing some of this pure energy. So we're going to call that pure energy in and re-energize, reinvigorate. Doesn't that sound fun? Maybe I'm like maybe I'm like, oh God, I feel so sleepy, or I don't have much going on. So we just go into the re-energizing and revigorating that sense of consciousness and that breath of life and that goodness that's just so wonderful, right? So the tracing energies are really, really powerful. Again, we can call in pure energy for self-love, bringing that pure energy in with self-love. So we're going to move into a little bit more of that self-love, right? And I think whenever we kind of focus on self-love, we're like, well, God, you're just kind of selfish. You're just all about you, right? But I mean, guess what? We have this body, we have this body, the beautiful body we chose, and we still want to continue to love and bring more of that beautiful self-love and just acknowledging all of the gifts that we have. Okay, let's see if we got anything else. We're going to bring in that beautiful sense of beauty. Let's bring in some beauty right now. Let's bring in some beauty and appreciation. Bringing in that beauty and appreciation and bringing that energy into the field. So as we're working with the tracing energies, physical, pure energy and non-physical energies, we want to really embrace that sense of beauty. Beauty. It's so wonderful. And you could even say the beauty of the trees, the beauty of, the essence that we are, or the beauty of art or music or nature. You just kind of like start leaning into that. So I think we're about done. So with this, I really want to emphasize with you that when we call the tracing energies, it is physical, okay, physical, pure energy, and non-physical energies. So when we're really kind of looking at life, right, we're really noticing what we're noticing, even if a person who has passed in your life and then that non-physical energy starts coming in, we can start engaging and gaining more insights, right? So it's just like that a life review with no physical ascension is we start getting some guidance there. And so with that, we just kind of lean in to the energies and see if we can get some more helpers for us as we're here still in this physical form. This is really, really powerful. So I think that's all I have today. But again, when you start having patterns, when you start having the same patterns, and it's like in a physical form, then you can slowly kind of recede from the physicality of it and move into non-physical and start working with your body in a different way without having to be touched or without having to have activators or anything to uplift your beautiful divinity. So when we keep moving through, of course, the physical is awesome, right? But sometimes we don't have access to that. So we start noticing the patterning, and then we start doing the tracing energies. It's pure energy that comes in to assist, to bring more breath of life, to bring more invigoration of life, more inspiration for life, and feeling that sense of love. And sometimes we think we have to do it with another person or we have to do it for ourselves. We just call in that non-physical or that tracing energy, pure energy, and letting it come in and do exactly what you're desiring in your life. You might just say, I just need better health. I need better experiences with relationships. I need better experiences experiences with, abundance or manifestation. So all these things are going to be in alignment with tracing energies, and it's all people. It's free. It's free energy. This stuff we're talking about is free energy. So play with that a little bit. Okay. Have a great day and namaste.